Okay, it looks like everybody's about here. This is Reverend Robert Hogue, and no tour of Scio is complete without talking about Scio College. So Scio College started in Harlem Springs in about 1850, and when the railroad got to Scio in the early 1850s, the population started to build up in these valleys, and so they moved it to what was then called New Market. So the town was called New Market, but there was a post office called Scio in the same spot that predated the town by about 20 years. It opened in 1840. So the name Scio has nothing to do with the college. It's hard to say where that name came from, but it was called New Market. It was called New Market University, and Reverend Hogue decided that the best way to learn was to study one subject at a time. So when you entered for a semester, there were 3 semesters in a year, you would study one subject for 4 weeks and only one subject all day. I don't know how he thought that would work. And then go to the next subject, the next subject. And so they called it, they actually changed the name to the One Study University because they thought this is going to work. Well, it didn't work. It lasted about 8 years, and then it became Scio College. Now, the college, there are no buildings left, but I mean, there were big dormitories, auditoriums, all kind of stuff, and they're all gone. The college was never financially sound, but it still had students. It was a Methodist college. It was associated with the Methodist Church, and it was never financially sound, and it struggled along, and then came the Scio oil boom. And I believe the oil boom's on the back of the guide. Is that right, Sandy? Yeah, and if you count the derricks there, I think I counted 58 of them last night. In Scio. They would have one in one person's backyard, next over they'd have another oil derrick in the backyard. And so what happened was when the oil boom came, the ruffians came, and the good Methodist parents were like, no, we're not going to send our kids there. So the enrollment dropped off drastically in 1899 when the oil boom started. Oil boom lasted 2 years. By then, Scio was basically insolvent, and they ended up going to being absorbed by Mount Union, which was another Methodist college. But there was a pharmacy college. A guy named Beale ran it, and he was very famous, and so he split and he went to Pitt, and Pitt has a world famous pharmacy program, and he started that, and he started it here in Scio. So the college does live on, even though it wasn't successful. There was a teacher's college in Hopedale, there was Scio College, there was a short-lived college in Germano, and then there was New Athens. By the early 1900s, the New Athens and the Scios, they just couldn't survive. They couldn't compete with the bigger colleges and well-funded colleges, so they started to close down. But Reverend Hogue's One Study University, I cannot imagine studying one subject all day, 5 days a week for 4 weeks. So needless to say, it didn't work. So behind you guys, there's a guy named Leroy Gibbons. You can't see it. I ran out of lanterns. I only got 3 lanterns. I can only find 3 lanterns, so there's no lantern up there. But I thought I'd tell you this story. So if I say Scio water, what do you think? Huh? Yuck? Yuck, yeah, yuck.
Good clean water.
Good clean water. So Scio water is safe, but it's heavily treated. So this guy was mayor in 1899, and the first water company was a private entity. They drilled a well, It was up 519, about a mile. They drilled a well. They piped it to Scio, and the water was so bad that they went bankrupt. So, that aquifer has not improved in the last 125 years, and it's not going to improve. And if you think about that, how many oil wells were drilled right through that aquifer? You know, so Scio water was never good. They tried to get the village to buy it for $40,000. The voters voted it down. Carrollton's whole system cost $10,000. Uricksville's cost $4,000, and these guys, they were kind of shysters. They wanted $40,000. Voters voted it down. It went bankrupt. At some point in the early 1900s, the village did take it over, and they've struggled ever since. So some things in history don't change. That is it today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Do you have any questions? This is the question and answer period. Sometimes people have questions, sometimes they don't. No questions?
Nope.
That's the first. Oh, the first. Yeah, it is, pretty much. All right.
What's the big Reese over there?
What?
There's a big Reese monument over there.
The one on the hill?
Yeah.
That's the one I was talking about.
No, where?
In the corner.
Oh, corner. I don't know. Where's Chris?
Which one?
Scott Reese. So that would be Lou's brother. Correct? Yeah. He, after Lou passed away, Scott took over as general manager of the plant itself, and his brother took over sales for Scio pottery. So yes, that's what that one is. That's one of the Reese brothers. They were not natives. They were born in Sisterville, and they moved here. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.